Hello! Welcome to Michael Howe Arts. I am Michael Howe, and today I am going to be showing the first 7 of my Gobtober drawings. For those of you who don't know, Gobtober is a drawing challenge, as there are many of these in October, often with different themes, but Odd Artworks created one around goblins and created a prompt for each day of the month. So I've been using those, as well as actually using, he has another prompt list that are D100 list of spooky things. So I've actually been, for most of these, rolling on that prompt list as well, and trying to include that in the image. So without further ado, I'll start the drawings. So on these first few, I had actually sketched out the drawings in advance in my sketchbook and then just transported them into the files. On some of the later ones, you'll see that I'm just sketching the whole thing out in here. So this one was just a basic little goblin. I was trying to think of things that might be part of their character. So big ears, sharp teeth, kind of crazy stuff like little bombs strapped to the chest and armor. A sword, knickknacks, stuff like that. And then just shading and stuff. In a minute, I'll add in a watercolor wash. There we go. And then erase it to draw a little more attention to him. So this one was sneaky, and then I rolled the additional prompt of Phantasmal Maid. So I had already had the pose for sneaking, and was then building a scene, or attempting to build a scene, with the maid. I hope it comes across in the final image as a ghost and not any almost even more disturbing image. I really like the inking I did on the goblin himself here. It's getting into the hatching, some solid lines. Mix of just solid blacks and then hatching. With that, I was like, maybe he stabbed something? Maybe this is just the trail he's following? I thought he stabbed something. I'm not sure what. But it just seemed like it needed something more. And then lots and lots of hatching to try to sell the glowing phantasmal maid. Hatching galore. I really wanted to get like a strong division of color in light and shadow. All right, this one was a fast one. I had just started a new job, so I didn't have a ton of time to draw. So I did an alchemist, had him big and excited with blowing stuff up, and then I included a couple smiling skulls to go with what I had rolled for that. For being as simple as it is, I actually still really like, especially his expression and the hint of a story with this one. Can't always be great works of art, but still doing drawings. Alright, so this one, Hunter, I believe this was the last one I had pre-planned, and then I rolled up the prompt of Sobbing Wall. So I laid out some perspective that fit how the guy was standing, and then I was like, sobbing? Maybe there's like windows with water running out of them? And that turned into kind of a dam feature. Honestly, I really like how this wall turned out. I almost like it better than the guy. I feel like it's one of the better walls I've drawn where the stone looks less just like solid bricks or very mechanical. It looks laid down as like separate stones by people. It's hard to describe what I was going for, but I think I pulled it off better than in some other walls. And let me know what the story you think is. What might this orc fellow be hunting from atop this wall? Also, if you're curious, I believe the skull on his shoulder is that of a ferret. Doing more hatching again. All right, hunted. I had not yet come up with a pose for that guy, and then I rolled up Vampire Banquet. So I almost immediately had the idea of like the goblin being hunted by a vampire. He was invited as a guest for the Vampire Banquet. So my process with this was to do a quick little doodle sketch and then do most of the drawing and inking in one what's the word? Pass. I didn't do like tight pencils. It was just kind of drawing, and that was it. I really enjoy the goblin's expression in this, and the story, and the hatching that I do on the right here on the vampire's cape. I enjoy that look. Feels like it makes just a shinier bit of material. So for this one, I got Warrior, and secondary was Chilling Grasp. So I took a pose from a reference book, but made it more goblin-y proportions. I think I'm trying to remember. So the next day is night, and I'm trying to remember if I specifically avoided like very nightly stuff with this, but warriors in fighters in D&D at least, a knight would be a fighter class or a paladin. So yeah, Chilling Grasp, I made a creepy skeleton grabbing his shoulder. And then on the goblin's face, I was trying to do like tribal or ornate tattoo markings or paint. I thought they were painted. Oh yeah, another one with like the grayscale shading. Last one of these first 7 days, the prompt was night, and then the secondary prompt was giant bat belfry. So I pretty immediately had this picture of like that view of the bat looking down at the knight character. What's fun about the knight is I was able to bring in a goblin knight named Oscar that I had played in a Forbidden Lands campaign. So I brought him back to be the hero here. Fleshed out his costume a little bit, changed like some hairdo things and what he's wearing, but I knew it was the same guy. That's the same shield he had, and he had a scimitar, I believe, in that game, so I gave him a little bit more of a curved sword. Lots of hatching to get different lighting in there. All the stuff on the floor is actually one of the new Procreate brushes, I believe, created by Kyle Webster. But on the wall, most of that is just me doing the hatching. And there we go. Let me know what your favorite is of the 7. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Go check out OddArtworks as well. I'll have a link to his channel somewhere on the screens and down in the doobly descriptions. Yeah, he has a lot of fun stuff. Great channel, really cheery guy. He has his Gobtober drawings, and then he does lots of designing fun dungeon maps and illustrations. So yeah, go check him out. Thanks again. Don't forget to hit like and follow if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Me. Hello, welcome to the